Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back in with another video here. Getting started, we're going to start out with Herald Arc-like. I don't know if I missed the ball on this or there's something crazy going on with this, but it's almost bought out. I'm looking here near mint and lightly played, and it's already hitting about $12. The only reason why I know about this is because I had two places listed, first edition near mint or lightly played, and they sold both places sold today, like the last couple of hours. So that's kind of how I took notice on this. I just pushed those out, and it's kind of interesting. So I don't know if you guys know anything that I don't know. Comment below or just let me know or whatever. I just think that's kind of interesting. I don't know what's going on with this card, but it's almost bought out for this original print. You know, they have the I guess it's kind of interesting because it's interesting how this one's so expensive, and then I guess the new Challenger Special Edition Super, I don't know if that was like a European print or what, is also going for quite a bit of money too, actually. It's really interesting. It's like almost the same price, it looks like. Yeah, so it's about $11 for the Special Edition one page of those left. And then the reprint from the 2015 Megaton, same rarity, of course, is still about the same thing, about 12, 13. So even that one's even going up a little more. Strangely enough, it's really strange that this one is like the highest rarity, right, highest value right now. But anyway, so just wanted to showcase that really quick. Moving on here to Lava Golem, more specifically the Lava Golem from the original print Front Guardian. The first editions are quite a lot now. I think it's the third page is when we get our first edition. Right here from Cloud TCG, and it's $15. I know a couple of months ago I was picking these up for fives all day long, 3, 4, 5s. And if you guys got on board with the first edition Lava Golems, they're at 15 now. There's only one left on the third page, and then there is 2 here on the second page, and it jumps all the way up from 15 to about 21. So that is pretty impressive. Moving on here, End of Anubis. I saw something on one of the Facebook Market Watch groups about this, and it's kind of what made me take notice to this. There's been some chatter about this card. And the first editions, you know, there's 2 first editions here. I've actually been sitting here for a while. I gotta refresh my page because I actually made these tabs last night. So they're still here, about $5 for these 2 lightly played first editions. I would be really careful with super special awesome cards. Nothing against the seller, they're really great. But when they list lightly played cards, like they mean like lightly played to shit. These cards are pretty beat up. They're still technically lightly played, but you know, they're not going to have creases or splits. But anything besides that is like fair game for them. So I don't buy their lightly played stuff anymore. Let's see here, and then it jumps all the way up to $25 quickly. So after those 2 go bye-bye, it goes to $25, and then we start getting up into the 30 range, and there's only 2 pages left. So this was another card. There was a couple months ago, I was kind of going through this phase where I was getting really interested in buying old first generation core set secret rare first editions, and this and Lava Gold happened to be one of the 2 cards that I was picking up during that time. So I got several of these, mostly for collector's value at the time, which maybe that still is kind of why it's going on, or maybe it's just, you know, the well's running dry on these old secret first editions. Moving on, Night Serpent Dragon from Magic Ruler. Let's see here, there is 3 pages left. Let me refresh this, because again, these are kind of old. No first editions on the first page, and no first editions on the second page. Oh, that one got bought out, or what's going on here? So third page is only first edition listings, and it goes to $25 for lightly played, and then jumps up all the way up to triple that for near mint. So that's pretty crazy. So first edition Night Serpent Dragons. I know I have a couple of these as well. Not a playable card, but you know, pretty cool artwork, and just, you know, one of the original first generation sets, first edition secrets, so some value there. Magic Reflector, this is something that I just think is a really great card. I know there was a time there were a lot of people selling this, I think, against Sky Strikers or just random decks in general, but this is still really cheap, and this is the highest rarity. This is a super rare from the OTS 3, and this card's like $1 all across the board, and there's quite a few of them. Most of them are single of, so maybe you guys can do an add-on, but again, I don't remember if I mentioned this in one of my earlier videos or not, but I think this is a phenomenal card for its price. Now, I want to start discussing some of the first generation core sets here, just some cards that I think are really interesting. Of course, you know, the original print, popular anime cards like Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, Exodia, Dark Magician, more likely the first editions, more so the ones that are the big money, but stuff like this, like the original print Secret Rares, has always kind of been a fan favorite. Secret artwork's really cool, really old school nostalgic card. The first editions are like ungodly expensive, which I kind of want to showcase for you guys here really quick. How many pages we have to go through here to get to the first edition. There's a Spanish one for 70. And there's another Spanish one here for 20, so interesting price differentiation on that one. So the last page here, we get a Portuguese. The first English one is $112. $112 for lightly played. There's a couple here on the down. But look at this, near mint, it gets 248. That is insane. And then it goes to 223. No one's going to buy these. These are ridiculously overpriced. I just like to kind of showcase how ridiculous these prices have kind of gotten out of hand. I think even this 112 one, the lowest place English, is still ridiculously expensive to me. But I mean, maybe, I mean, this is just a really old card, so I mean, maybe, why not? I mean, I would never buy it at that price, but you know, I just kind of wanted to showcase you guys the craziness of these original first generation cards, how they can get. You know, of course, the first edition Regeki is going to be super expensive. Any of the first edition Legend of Blue Eyes is going to be worth money. Monster Reborn first edition is like ungodly expensive. That's going to be a bunch of money. So let's look at a first edition Guy the Champion Knight. See these. There's only 3 pages of these. I already start getting to the $5 range for the unlimited. So it's crazy the price differentiation. Is there not even, okay, so there's not even a first edition. The first edition print of this is just completely gone from TCG Player. There isn't a single first edition Guy the Dragon Champion. So if you guys have this card, I know these cards were pulled to like no end back in the day. If you're a really old school player, or maybe a collector if you picked up on the first editions later on. So obviously the unlimited is not really worth anything. The Japanese one's not really worth anything either. But if you have an original print secret rare, good on you, because that's, you own the price on that card. Also, Pot of Greed, you know, probably one of the most infamous ban cards of all time. This is worth money too. Like, even the lightly played unlimited, they're about $2. But what I want to talk about is the first editions. I know the first editions, even for just the rares, the original prints get pretty ungodly. This one's about $6. So they're about $6 for first edition lightly played. So that's, if you have first editions, I would sell them, honestly. I mean, it is original print and it's cool because it has magic card and all that, but we have an ultimate rare, secret rare, super rare. There's so many awesome rares of this card. For the money, for what it's worth, I would definitely get rid of the rares. I'm pretty sure that Polymerization super rare first edition go for some money too. These, I bet Curse of Dragon, if you guys have any first edition Curse of Dragons, I bet those go for a pretty penny as well. You know, first editions on the first 2 pages, or the 3rd page, last page. A couple first editions here. It jumps all the way up to $33. My goodness, it's just insane. The price differential from first edition and unlimited is just insane. Like, the unlimited are nothing, they're a couple dollars. And lightly played first edition, only 2 of them jumps all the way up to 30 plus. So anyway, I just like to go through these old sets and kind of just like poke around. See if there's any like cheap first editions around here. For the longest time, This is a super great card too. I love Dark Hole. Even the unlimiteds, they look really great because it has the magic card instead of spell card. Original print, super rare. It's really nice rarity card. That call is really deep and crisp in these. And the first editions, like I've been trying to get a first edition for a while. This is just an all-time classic staple. And surprisingly, a lot of people, I mean, even myself, I don't even usually run it in the majority of my decks either because we do have Rikeki now. But still an all-around amazing generic card. And the first editions are about 14. I'm actually really surprised. That's kind of, I wouldn't spend that much, honestly, just because I have so many. I have a lot of LOB super rares unlimited, so there's no need for me to really get this. But I was definitely expecting it to be a little bit higher than 14. There's one for 14, and then it goes to like about 20, and then 28 plus. So really good card. Anyway, I really mostly wanted to just showcase the secrets because they're going to be the most popular, which I did was the Trihorn and the guy. Like I said, if you have this, congratulations. This is like at an extremely like overinflated, crazy high price. And then this card, there's no first editions on the market. So if you list a first edition, you control the price point on that. Moving on here to Metal Raiders, Gate Guardian. I actually just sold one. I had an unlimited one. It was in pretty beat up condition. I sold that one pretty cheap because it was just not having a good day. But moving on, there's no first editions on the market for this either. So collectors have really crowed through TCG Player pretty efficiently. There's no first edition Gate Guardians. This card isn't playable, but it's just a really old school, nostalgic, awesome secret rare. Hard to find first edition. So if you have first edition Gate Guardian MRD, you can control the market on that. See a first edition Mirror Force. I apologize. It's going to be a pretty long video because I didn't really plan this out. I just wanted to pick through a couple of the first generation sets to kind of just see what some of the first edition stuff's looking at. First edition Mirror Force, lightly played, is $54. It's incredible, and then quickly moves up to $100. So I would sell those. There's so many awesome rarities. We have Secret. We have tons of different ultra rare reprints. We have a secret rare. So if you have a first edition one of these, I would slang it so quick. And there's only a couple here left on the market, so that's something you guys consider if you guys have it. Summon Skull first edition. This would be pretty expensive. Only 2 pages and no first edition. So if you have a first edition Summon Skull, you can control the market on that price point. Change of Heart ban card, super powerful card. I'm a firm believer that everything comes back to one eventually. This is the ultra rare from Metal Raider. And first 2 pages don't have any first editions, and a lot. So this is crazy. Like this wasn't this bad. The last time I did a market watch like this, where I kind of reviewed older sets, I think mostly it was just the secrets. I had no idea that these first edition prints from these like first generation cards are just gone. They're just non-existent. At least here in TCG Player, this is kind of the main reference for most players these days, and so you have a first edition Change of Heart, then one thing I wanted to say really quick, and I know I mentioned it before, the secret rare from, I believe, Legendary Collections Joey's World. Was Joey's World, or is it Yugi's World? I can't remember. Yugi's World is just so amazing. I want a first edition print of this so bad, but it gets pretty expensive. Not too bad, 6, but still, I'm not paying $6 for a Change of Heart when I have tons of ultra rare original prints. But I think if this was to go down, I mean, obviously it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna come off the ban list anytime soon, especially with the whole link format going on and all this craziness. But this is just such a beautiful card. This card secret rare looks so great. If you can't get the ultra rare first edition, which is like just non-existent. I don't remember if this was a card that had a couple or not. The secret rare is super nice as well. It's my personal favorite rarity of that. Let's look at that first edition Solemn Judgment. Some people argue this is the best rarity. Um, it's for original print nostalgia purposes. There's a lot on the market, tons on the market. No first editions on the first page. Probably gonna take a while to find a first edition. First edition. So first edition is about $35 right here. A one of lightly played, and it quickly moves into the 50 range. So a lot of money on Solemn Judgment. I'm trying to remember what's the other secret rare. Is it Thousand Dragon? Yeah, Thousand Dragon. So this comes in far in between. I don't never really see a whole lot of first editions of this card either. This was sitting at a pretty good price point the last time I looked at the first edition. The Unlimiteds aren't really anything special, but the first editions are almost $80. Slightly played first edition. There's one here for $77. So $80 range for first edition Thousand Dragon. First edition Barrel Dragon would probably go for a little bit too. First editions of these would probably be pretty good too. The Saga, Sujin, all that good stuff. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to scratch the surface on these sets really quick, so we're going to move on to the third core set. First generation Magic Ruler. Even the Unlimiteds on these original print 2 and Blue Eyes are like pretty ungodly expensive. 17, 20, 19, it quickly goes up. There's only 2 pages. The first lightly played is $60, and then it goes into $150. That's insane. This is a beautiful card. The secret rarity is really deep, and it looks great. If you guys have seen these up close, they just look so amazing. So that's really saying something. The Unlimiteds are already at 15, and then it goes all the way as high as 150. There's not that many left for first edition. I believe I have one of these. Unfortunately, it's Asian English. However that works out, I'm not really sure. I think I got it off eBay several years ago when I was in Korea. And like the text is all English, but it has on the back, it has like the Japanese kanji, so it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like a hybrid thing. It's kind of weird. I don't think there was too many Asian English cards produced, honestly, but I'm not an expert on Asian English cards, but they're out there on the market. I think they're definitely a little less undesirable compared to full-on North American TCG cards. But anyway, really expensive for that card. This card, I know I always kind of come back to this card. This is my favorite rarity of MST. I think MST is a great one-for-one. I know it's kind of been power crept by Twin Twister and stuff, but for what it is, this card is just great. Really awesome artwork, really nostalgic, really old school. And the first editions, I think, are about 14. The last time I, reviewed this card, I think they were 14 for the first editions. Now they're sitting at 18. 18 quickly jumps into 20 and then 22. So these cards are getting up there. I know I have a few copies. I don't know if they would meet the standard of lightly played. They might be a little bit more than that. But I love this card. And even the Unlimiteds, too. The Unlimiteds look super great, too, for how ancient they are. It's such an ancient card. They're already $4. So this card used to be a lot cheaper. I remember several months ago, or probably like maybe last year or 2 years ago, I was buying these. Like, I was buying first editions for like $5 and like Unlimiteds for like $2s. It was insane. When I got back into the game, these were 14 as well. They were going for $14 back in, what was it, 2011 time frame. Snatch and Steal, really love this card. So Magic Ruler, kind of a quick note about me. Magic Ruler is one of my all-time favorite sets, if not my favorite sets. Out of pretty much, like, I'm a really avid fan of the original first generation sets, and they just had blowout Magic cards in this set. Some of the most powerful Magic cards ever created, in my opinion. Majority of them are banned, so it says a lot. And let's look at Snatch and Steal. Let's see if my first edition is about $12. Moves up to 13. Those are pretty nice. Liquid Duel first edition. Even the Unlimiteds are about 5. The first editions are going to be pretty ungodly here. It's about 12, so not too bad. I thought they'd be a little bit more than that. Lightly played 12. Tomb World. If you guys can find a first edition Tomb World, I have a few myself. This card is going to be like for a collector's value, original print Toon World is going to be ridiculous for first edition. It's not that bad yet. It's not there quite yet, but I promise you, this card, original print with its artwork and just the popularity of like the Toon stuff and nostalgic Pegasus stuff, this is going to be crazy. So for $6, that's not that bad. $8, $10. I mean, for what these are, I'm just saying there's only three left, three first editions on here. One here, yeah, one here, one. Three first editions, and the most expensive one goes all the way up to $10. Well, I guess there's four, five if you include this two of. But anyway, this $6 one, I wouldn't be surprised if that goes pretty soon. I'm personally waiting. I honestly believe that this card in particular from this set, this is going to be one of the higher priced cards. I know there's a lot of powerful fan magic cards that are really high too, but I don't know, I just have a thing in my heart for this card, and I just really believe in this card. So if you can get your hands on first editions, at least slightly played or better, I think that's going to be a really good investment. Axe of Despair, a couple of the Toon stuff too. So yeah, kind of playing off what I said about Toon World, the Mermaid, Summon Skull, obviously Blue Eyes is a whole lot, it's a secret. What are the first edition Toon? $16 already for the Summon Skull. So Summon Skull is even outreaching the Toon World. I honestly think for collector's value, I mean the collectors are probably way beyond the bounds of time known about this and already started picking off this card and picking up the Toon stuff. The original print Toon stuff, first edition, lightly played or better, is going to be so ridiculously high. I mean, you can already see it right now. This card is already $15 plus, $16 for Summon Skull. Let's see what Mermaid. So it's sitting about 10-ish, 10 to 7 for Toon World, 15 to 16 for Summon Skull. Well, it was like, what was it, like 55, and then like I jumped into the hundreds for the Blue Eyes, for the Secret. Relinquish First Edition. Here's the Mermaid right here. I'll go over that in a bit. First Edition Relinquished. This is going to be pretty good. $14. So First Edition Relinquished is already sitting at $14. Jumps up to 15, 16. Really good for that. First Edition Ultra. Here is Toon Mermaid. So even Toon Mermaid, which is kind of interesting. It's like one of the only cards that we didn't get censored in the OCG. Actually, the artwork is the same. She has some pretty big knockers here, and her seashell bra thing is kind of like the same size as OCG. So that's kind of like, I think, one of the only cards that missed censoring over to us in the TCG. So fun little side note. Let's see how much the first editions are. So first edition at the bottom of page 2, they're at 15. So they're tripping right up to, they're nipping at the Summon Skull's toes here. 15 then jumps into almost 17. So it's a lot for that. Black Illusion Ritual, you know, to go for your $14 relinquish. Painful Choice. This is a ban card. This probably like this the majority of the magic cards in this game are from this set. This set is just ridiculous when it comes to their magic cards. Hence the Magic Ruler. First editions of these original print super rares are really nice. Cheapest ones for $4. It's actually not that bad. I would actually maybe consider looking at this one. Anything under 5, I think, is a really good investment for this card. This card is just literally so good. There's 3 here, so you can there's a couple left here under 5. Like I said, I think under 5 for lightly played or better. First edition this card, always first edition. Always get first edition. If you can get like unlimited, just like ridiculously cheap, maybe like near mint, maybe like $1 or 2. That's kind of reasonable, but obviously with these older cards, always want to go first edition. Kind of like the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! You always kind of want to go first edition. I think everyone's kind of has that ingrained in their mind by now. But this card is really great for 5. I think this card is going to go way up. This card, I don't know how, if this card ever came back, it would have to be like ridiculously errated, but like I said before, I'm a found believer that everything comes back to 1 eventually. Forceful Century, this is at about $4. There's one here for $4. And then this page 2 gonna load here, and then it goes to 5, and then it goes to 6, and it slowly goes going up after that. Just another great card that just rips a card out of your hand, your opponent's hand, lets you see their hand. It's pretty awesome. Giant Tornado. This is like a secret MVP. I know everyone wants Heavy Storm, and everyone knows we're going to get it back eventually. It kind of has came in and out of the meta, just like this card has. I know there was a new Giant Tornado. I forget what it's called. Hay Tornado, that's what it is, which is just kind of like the watered down version of this. This card is just so ridiculous. I personally play Satellar Knight, so I really want this card to come back, and I really pray it does not get ratted. It is just so awesome, killer artwork, super old school card, and the recycle factor is just so ridiculous on this card. So unlimiteds are really not anything; they're just like $1 or $2. But when you get into the first editions, that's when it starts getting kind of crazy. This is insane. This is $3, $3.50 for this. I would pick this up. I would like pick this up yesterday. This is insane. This is the first time I've seen this cheap in a while. This is a really good deal. I would definitely take a look at this. $3.50 for a first edition Giant Train is a steal. I mean, I might even go and buy that after this video. This is insane. This as well, Super Games, so 5. These are $5. There's 9 of them. This is a gold mine right here too. Like I said, anything under 5 is a ridiculous steal for this card. This card is super good. As long as it doesn't get ratted. Everyone knows it's banned right now, but just the recycle factor alone, and just this card is just ridiculous. I can't just, this is one of my all-time favorite cards from this set. I think this is a giant sleeper card that everyone kind of forgot about because it's been banned for so long. But when this comes off, I promise you, the first edition original prints are going to just be so ridiculously high. And $5 for a first edition lightly played is not that bad. It jumps up to about 9 and tops out at 11 and so on. But there was nine, that person had 9 copies for 5. So just saying, I think that's a really good investment. Another card is Confiscation. Kind of like Forceful Century, but it's, you know, kind of, yeah, it's kind of basically kind of like another Forceful Century, just in a different way. First editions of these, I think, are another really great investment. Band card, of course, it's going to come off eventually. Who knows, may not get errated. It's a really ridiculous card. And these are like $3. These are $3 all day long. There was a couple months ago where I picked them up quite a few. I think like 3 playsets for 2 apiece for first edition that I played. That was probably the best I've seen in a long time. But these are just a little bit more. There's there's a 7-1 here from Core TCG. This is one of my all-time favorite sellers. They're really great. I'm just saying, they never mess up orders. Their conditions are always on par, and they ship fast, they ship safe. So they're a really good seller. They have 7 of them. And I just think this is another sleeper card. Another sleeper band card. I'm a really big advent collector of band cards and just kind of stockpiling up on band cards in general before the ban list. So that's just that's a recommendation. I really do like this card too. I really wish they were, I feel like, I mean, I don't know, maybe they won't because it's just so old, but who knows, with Konami so unpredictable. But I would love to have a secret rare, or maybe even just a super rare of this card. I love this card so much. This is one of, like, I have a lot of favorite cards, obviously. I keep on kind of just, like, going over, like, oh, this is my favorite card. This is one of my all-time favorite cards. But anyway, no, seriously, like, genuinely, honesty, this is, like, I really love the artwork in this card. It's, like, really, like, creepy, kind of like Halloween, October, like, spooky ghosts and demons. It looks really great. And, this is another thing that kind of slipped through, too. Normally, with the OCG, TCG censorship, we don't get the crucifixes, the, like, crosses here. It's generally just, like, the tombstones. But we actually got the same as the Japanese OCG here with the crucifixes. So it's a pretty cool card. Unfortunately, it only comes common, which is pretty lame. There's actually 5. Wow, 5 different versions. I think this card would look so awesome, super rare, even more so secret rare. I have a couple playsets of first edition of this card myself, and it's about $2 or $2 here, $1.50. But anyway, I just love this card. I don't know. It's pretty busted with the macros combo, macro combo, macros Cosmos or Banisher of the Radiance or Banisher of the Light. That's a broken combo. It's a really annoying cheap combo that you can play on your opponent to lock them out from attacking. But I think it's hilarious. So yeah, people kind of forgot about that old classic combo, but just a really awesome card in general. I hope we can get a holo reprint someday in life. My dreams will come true. Messenger of Peace, I think this is another really underrated card with all these kind of big boss monsters running around and all this crazy spamming in the link format. This is a steal right here. Limitless games, 50 cents for a first edition lightly plate. That is ridiculous. Like, my goodness, that is ridiculous. I mean, I might even just buy that right now. That's insane. What is this guy thinking? This is like legendary. What's going on here? Sorry, getting messages on my computer and stuff. Anyway, yeah, if I don't buy that, you guys need to buy that. That is ridiculous. That for the first edition, a Messenger of Peace. This card has pretty cool artwork. Again, just a really old card, really hard to find. Well, maybe not too hard to find since there's 5 pages plus first editions. But I just think it's a cool card to have on the side. There was a couple different prints of this. I'm pretty sure this is the highest rarity. There was like Hobby Leagues or Duelist League ones or whatever. But I don't really care about those. Original print super rare is what it's all about. Yeah, the retro pack, and then rares, and then commons, and yeah, the color, the rares are like purple and green or whatever. Those are just kind of weird to me. I'm not really a big fan of those. Anyway, I think that's pretty good. Send you the 1,000 hands. Did this come hollow yet, or is it still just a rare? I feel like we got a super rare somewhere down the line. Oh, there's the DTs. Of course, those are going to be pretty nice penny, $4. Yeah, super. Oh wait, no, this is speed duels. Okay, never mind. Speed duels. Can't play it in the real Yu-Gi-Ohs. So yeah. Anyway, interesting. I'm a big Hero player, so kind of an interesting card. This card, Banisher of the Light, first edition. This card has been like ass cheap for the longest time. Of course, I'm talking about the first editions. This card is so powerful too. Like this may just be the anti-meta player of me talking here, but I love busting this out or Banisher of the Radiance with a Moonmere Shield or whatever support cards that we like to use with all our shenanigans, and like all this crazy combo-ness. This card is ridiculous. I really hope that we get a holo version of this. This card's so powerful too, like a secret rare. Konami, give us a secret rare. Grand Maju is such a good card. It makes me sad that we have all these crazy old cards that still have not seen the light of day on the holo front. But anyway, going back to Banisher of the Radiance, there's one for $1 here, $1.34 for $1.32. So pretty much all well under the $2 point for the first editions, and quite a few on the market. Again, this is such a powerful card depending on what you're playing. Obviously, a lot of decks need the graveyard, but if you don't, it's, if you can defend it with whatever you want to defend it with. Also, of course, Banisher of the Radiance. Really quick, the anti-meta player in me is getting curious. I apologize. I'm going to kind of do a sidetrack here. I don't care about the super rare. I'm talking about the ultimate rares or the secret rares. How much are the secret rares? These are going to start going up. $2, $2. These are pretty cheap. These are a pretty nice alternative. The secret rares actually look pretty nice. But the ultimate rares, Banisher. If you want to go big baller status, ultimate rares, unlimiteds are 13. First editions are 15. And then they move quickly on, creeping up to just under 20. So even for this, I mean, I think for what this is kind of insane still. I mean, yes, I know this is a lot of money. Duelist Academy is one of my all-time favorite sellers too. They're really great. Really great never mess up orders, really nice conditioning, accurate conditioning of their cards, really fast, AAA secure. Anyway, um, $17 for what this is. This is like Anti-Meta Paradise. This card, I know it's one of the like more least popular ones for now. A lot of people are using Dyna, of course, and Thunder King, and of course Inspector Borders rise to fame as of late. Um, but it's still an ultimate rare. It's still an ultimate rare. It's still first edition. It has a blowout, um, just continuous effect. And its stats not bad. 1600, for what it is, for its effect, is ridiculous. It's so easy to defend this card nowadays with all the support we have. I know I already have my 2 playsets of First Edition Ultimate. Do you have yours? Because, I know this is still a lot more expensive than what it used to be back in the day, but times change, and I don't think this $20 price point for its First Edition, literally ancient Ultimate Rare, is going to stay that way. Anyway, enough of the sidetrack on that. Moving back on to Magic Ruler. I think this card's going to come back. We got Morphing Jar. I don't see any reason why. I mean, it may get ratted or whatever, but I know there's, an Ultimate Rare, and then I think, obviously it's going to be expensive, though, the kind of pack Ultimate Rare. I think the first edition and original prints aren't that bad, too. But they're not really that cheap, either. I think they're like $3. Well, actually, no, there's one here for $1. So these are actually, I wouldn't mind getting these. I think for what it is, this one has 2. This is pretty incredible. These were like 3s for the longest time when people are predicting this to be a bigger ban list than probably what it's going to be. A lot of cards coming back. You have the Hobby League ones, and you have the Ultimate Rare, of course. Which is $26 for the first edition, and it's almost bought out. It looks pretty great. I don't remember if mine is unlimited or first. I know I have one. I'm pretty sure it's first edition. I've never had any of these. Actually, I think I have a couple of these too. Again, you gotta be careful with Hobby League cards. They look pretty great, but I think they were like made by Upper Deck or something. They're made by someone else, and they're thicker. They feel thicker to me, and I don't know. I feel like paranoid. I feel like you get like in trouble. Anything outside of locals, people would like complain about the thickness of the card or something. So in my personal opinion, I think that the best one to get is the original print first edition rare from Magic Ruler, which is literally sitting at $1. $1 here, $1 here, $1 here. There's 2 of them, and moves on. Is there any 3 of those? And then yeah, it jumps up to like 150 after that, 143. So anyway, I think that's pretty great. I would definitely look into that. I've really drawn into the set too long. I'm not going to obviously cover everything because this video would just be so ridiculously long. So I'm just going to go ahead and press on to Pharaoh's Servant. Let's take a look at first edition Jinzo's, the man of the day, everyone's favorite machine. Anti-Trap, Devourer. Hold on, let me see something really quick. What was the Unlimited? These Unlimited. Unlimited are already almost at 14. It's insane. And is there any first editions on here? First edition on the 3rd page, $75. So Jinzo is $75 for first edition. Again, be careful. Super awesome special cards. Great for the most part, but they're lightly played. I mean, they're pretty borderline. Whatever is after, I forget what's after lightly played. Going down in the conditions. And then it goes all the way up to 100 plus, and all the way to 200. So really popular card, really powerful card back in the day. Still a really awesome card, killer artwork, popular card. It's always going to be quite expensive. Let's look at some first edition original print Thousand Eyes Restrict. There is the secret rare version of this card, which I would personally recommend. It's the highest rarity of this card, and it's significantly cheap if I remember it last. First editions are sitting at 28, and they quickly move into 30. Let's take a look at the secret rare promos really quick. Ultra Rare, Secret Rare, Master Collection Volume 1. This is the best version to me. I know kind of the old school player and collector value wants the Pharaoh's Servant or Ultra Rare First Edition, But those are pretty expensive. This is significantly cheaper, and it's a higher rarity, and it's from Master Collection Volume 1, which is almost just as ancient as Pharaoh Servant itself. So still a really old set, really hard to come by nowadays, especially. And there's plenty in the market, and you can get one for $4 in about $5 range. So I would definitely get this secret rare. My personal opinion, I would rather have this secret rare over a first edition ultra. But it's all on you. Buster Raider, Call the Haunted. The first editions of these are going to be worth some money. Know this for sure because I play Satellar Knights, and we pretty much always run 3 of these at least if I'm not playing Oasis, or even with Oasis. Dragon Souls, or whatever it's called, I forget. Oasis is something, it's basically the same thing as this card. And the first editions are $14, and they quickly move up to just shy of $20 for the first editions. Imperial Order, original print secret rares, first edition exclusively, of course. Moves into about $5. It's actually not that bad. I think $5 and under for first edition print of this card is a pretty good deal. Legendary Fisherman, I personally don't like this card. I know it's really popular with the anime, and it's just really, popular anime card, but I don't really care much for it. Premature Burial, a banned card that is sitting at a pretty good price point, even for unlimited. First edition sitting at 9, then moves to 12, then 13, and then starts to edge up to halfway to 20. A little more than halfway to 20. So pretty nice. Nobleman a Crossout. I think if you can get it first edition, obviously it's not seeing playing right now. With this whole Subterra Guru stuff, or flip decks aren't really predominant anymore. Unless Konami makes, I think Konami can make whatever they want. So if they want to make a flip deck, why not? If you can get it for a couple dollars, why not? Maybe like $2. I wouldn't really pay anything higher than $2 for a first edition, which unfortunately looks like the cheapest one is about $5. So you might have to wait on that card. Limit removal. I like the DTs. This is going to be a super long video. DNA Surgery. I talked about this in a couple of my other videos. I'm so sad. This is another one of the cards. It's a really powerful card, just like DNA Transplant. We have yet to get a holo. I think this would look amazing in a secret or super rare, at least. Goblin Attack Force. I really like the first editions of this. Back in the day, I used to play an old school beater deck. Back in the simplistic days, and something about $5 for first edition. $5, and then moves on to about $7. So it's really cool. I don't know if you guys ever seen the misprint where it's like the Energy Star, where it's like the monster level for the Earth attribute. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty popular misprint. There's a couple of those. Ceasefire, pretty awesome card too. Again, this video is already ridiculously super long, so I'm kind of just skimming through this set. I'm not going to cover everything. Prohibition, super awesome. There's a secret rare reprint. I wouldn't care really about this one because we got a secret rare which looks super spicy. Oh, there's a super rare too from Champion Pack 8, which is ancient. But the secret rares from the infamous Legendary Collection 3, Yugioh's World, oh my god, I keep on talking about these already. You guys need to get into these sets. Start picking apart this set and Legendary Collection 4, Joey's World. There's so many ridiculously powerful and amazing, beautiful reprints. This is a pretty awesome card, and it's only about $2, so I wouldn't mind getting a playset. I can't remember if I have a playset or not. I don't think I do, not for secret rare at least. But yeah, if you can get a playset of these for about $6 first edition, I think it's a good card. Good side option for Dawn of the Day eventually. This is a really awesome card too. I kind of experiment this with my Dark World to get some mad draw power. You're gonna want to get a first edition on that. Those first editions are, and the thing about this card is there's not a lot of prints. I think there's 2 prints for Prohibition, I think. Same with this other card that I'll show you later because I forget what it is. We're getting lost here. You may want to look at the what's it called? Dust Tornado, not Dust Tornado. This card, first edition. It's like MST in trap form. Dust Tornado. There's DTs, but I think the first edition super rare originals are pretty awesome. They're about $3. So if you, I would say like $2. $2 would be a reasonable price point. If you can pick that, that'd be a good investment. $2 for a first edition Dust Tornado Super. What's the card I was going to talk about? Appropriate. Yeah, there's only like 2 prints of this or something. I'm pretty sure it's this and then Dark Beginning or something. Retro Pack Common. Okay, so yeah, there's Retro Pack Common and then the Pharaoh Servant. So obviously you're going to want to get the Pharaoh Servant Rare Original Print First Edition, which is like 40 cents. 40 cents. It's crazy how cheap this is with how many low prints. I mean, I guess because a lot of people can't really use it, but this card is just so good. Like, it's kind of hard to pull off. When you do, it's an instant +2 and it's continuous and it's just it's very juicy. So I would take a look at Appropriate. I love messing around with Dark Worlds and Appropriate. This card pretty cool. Get the DT one. This is kind of an interesting card too. There's a lot of random and interesting continuous trap cards. The continuous trap cards are pretty heavy and pretty good in this set. This is a pretty good slow burner. You know, depending on what kind of burn deck you want to build. I think this is a kind of underrated card. Kind of out of it before its time. It's just a really great card. There's actually a lot more printings of this one. It's all common, of course. But this is a pretty cool card. Backup Soldier First Edition. I know it used to be run back in Exodia, like back in the day of yesterday, a long time ago. This was the card, Forced Requisition. This is another card that's super great. I like. See, you can see all the Dark World stuff here. You can just already know. Everyone likes to experiment with this card with Dark World. They already know. TCG player just kind of slaps it on the trending. Anyway, this one as well. I'm pretty sure there's just a common, Dark Beginning common, and the rare. This card is super fun to play with if you're playing a whole bunch of discard stuff. And look, there's a first edition on the first page here. There's a first edition here. 37 cents, 37 cents, 44 cents. So about a $half for the first editions. Unfortunately, there are one-ofs, so you're going to have to add on or kind of figure out what else you want to buy from these sellers to pick these up. But it's very good. $1 here on this one. This is another really awesome card. Artwork's super awesome too. I love the artwork on this. I love these old school Generation 1 cards. It's just really a lot more simplistic card work. Not so anime. Like, don't get me wrong, I like anime cards too, but you know, they just, I don't know, there's something about, you can just see really like the age of the game in these cards and the art. It's a lot more old school. Yep, that's pretty much it. So, moving on here to Labyrinth, a Nightmare. We have the Gemini Elf. We had the Last Warrior from Another Planet. This card is just awesome. I think people were using this with the card where if it gets destroyed, it came out as super rare in one of the OTS packs, and if it gets destroyed, you can bust out any card in your extra deck without, you know, ignoring its summoning conditions. This card just alone is like $9. The first editions are going to be pretty crazy. So let's see here. First edition on the 4th page is about 18, so not too bad. I mean, it's still expensive. It's going to be like running almost $60 for a playset of this card. This is such a badass card. This is another thing. I got a big thing for artwork. Artwork's really important for me. This thing looks really awesome. This like cyborg looking alien is really cool. And just an all-around amazing card. Obviously not really playable without a card that basically allows you to cheat, whip it out, you know, with like one or 2 cards or whatever, or some kind of card that ignores the summon condition, but this is a really awesome card. I really wish I had a first edition one of these. I just don't want to pay almost $60 for a playset, but I don't blame them. It's a nice card. It's really old, and it's first edition, and just amazing artwork. Gemini Elf, I'm really mixed about this. Actually, I'm not mixed at all. I don't personally buy this and Dark Magician Girl and a lot of the cards that were censored in the OCG, in the TCG, I mean. I don't even invest in them, really. I invest in the OCG counterparts just because their artwork is completely superior in every way. The Japanese one has the bust here, and it looks stupid to me. Like, every time I see a censored card here that we get in the TCG, and when I have an OCG card and I put them together, I get super depressed because we totally got shafted. I think that the original artwork is just so much better, especially when it comes to like the sexual stuff and like the religious stuff and like the violence and everything, and even to names. Everyone is kind of always known about name changes and kind of disappointed with the English name changes and everything. So I personally don't invest in this. The OCG ones are cheaper. OCG even has an ultimate rare version of this, an ultra rare Gemini Elf in the original artwork, uncensored. I would go on eBay and try to find one of those. If you can get a good condition one, those look amazing, ultimate rare, original artwork, uh, original picture, and it's just super great. First edition Magic Cylinder. It's for you burn decks, all your old school burn decks or whatever have you. It's just a really cool card in general. So you can literally the thing about this card. I know it's slow and it's really easily destroyed and kind of easy to go around, but this card, I think it's kind of funny, like depending on like what game state it is in the duel. Like you can just whip this out and just like win instantly. Your opponent could just like be swinging for game, and you just flip this, and you're just like denied, and then you just like get blown up in the face and die. I think it's just a really hilarious aspect of this card. I have a couple first editions myself. They're getting up there. They're about 13. Oh my goodness, they're 13 already for the first editions. Master Strict, interesting side choice for tribute decks. Who knows if Monarchs come back? I think Monarchs is probably the most popular tribute deck to come out. Torrential Tribute is at 3. If you can find a first edition of this for cheap, that would be pretty awesome. This card is completely unlocked. It's insane. Mage Power, I kind of experiment with this once in a while, or have at least in the past with anti-meta decks. And I think Moon Mirror Shield is a little bit more diverse, and it's all around kind of just like a better choice than this card, but this card's always an option. First editions are about $6. Ooh, I want to say something really quick about Dark Necrofear. So this is pretty cool, like the ultra rare and all that, but there's better rarities, I think. There's a DT, and there is a secret rare, again, from the infamous Master Collection Volume 1. I love this set, and they're all super cheap. This card looks so beautiful in secret rarity. This alien holding the creepy doll baby. It's just super awesome. Not really a playable card right now. I mean, could be depending on how you build your deck, but just in general, I just think this is just awesome. Highest rarity, really cheap, super awesome artwork. I'm just got a thing for Dark Necrofear. Also, the DT, rare, is also super cheap. It's like under $1 cheap. It's like under a $half cheap. So that's something to consider as well. I think I'm going to end the video here. I was going to move on to Yatagarasu and Legacy of Darkness and all that. This video has already been ridiculously long. I don't even know if you guys have made it this far or not. So I may just save the rest of my content for the next video. I apologize about the video being so long. I'm not going to rant on much longer, but hopefully you guys found something useful, found some knowledge to add to your bank. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. We'll catch you in the next video.